All right, y'all. It's Jerry from More Fun Fishing. Me and Danny's out here again today. We're going to try to see what we can do. Last weekend was Memorial Weekend. It was a little rough. But today's Friday, the week after. We're going to see what we can do. So I'm going to flip the screen. Hold on. And there's my buddy Danny. We're going to see what we can do. Hopefully we'll get into them. We're going to see what happens. The water level's really high. It's not. We've had a little bit of rain. Well, we haven't had that much rain to justify it being up this high. I don't get why it's so high. Well, guess we'll find out. Well, as soon as I can, I'm replacing this depth finder. I mean, I like that little thing, and it's perfect if you have a small John boat or one of those little 2-man boats or something that nature. But this boat here, I need at least a 5-inch screen where I can see it. Well, I'm gonna stay out about this far first. What we've done is right here where we launched the boat, right by the dock. I mean, it's almost within rock throwing distance. There's this little pocket, and a lot of times this pocket has been known to hold a few fish. But this lake is really high. In fact, the road that we take to come in on, they had a sign and a barricade up that said "Water over Road." Man, the only time I ever see that is when we've had tons of water and we're having flooding. So this is very unusual. So we'll have to see. Our tactics may have to change today. We may end up having to cast and wait a few minutes and let it get down. I mean, this spot here is usually around 6-7 foot of water, and it's at 11 foot now. So it is rather deep. We don't know how long we're going to stay at this spot. Well, yeah, last time, I mean, we caught what, 10 or 12 at least. Yeah. Yeah, we caught nice fish here. That was before we started videotaping. So, yeah. We were basically waiting on those bass fishermen to get out of that spot. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now I still have that watermelon seed color on here, so I haven't changed to black yet. Is that you got pumpkin on? Yeah, we may have to put black on. I mean, it works. We'll just have to see. It takes a little while for these little jigs get to the bottom. I mean, because they're not very heavy. That's one thing about it, though. When you catch a fish and you bring him out of that 10 foot of water, he could be 3 inches long and he feels like a 25-pound fish. Mm. You know, all in all, though, as high as this water is, I was really surprised the clarity of it. It's pretty clear. It's really clear for it to be so high. Ooh, there's a hit. There's another hit. Just barely pecking at it. This higher water could have them stirred up. That's a turtle. Since we drifted in a little bit, we might want to try that more. They may be up there in that shallower water. I wouldn't expect it too much, but you never know. There's a hit. They're just kind of short striking it. There he is, finally. Yeah, that's a little one. I mean, I think my jig's bigger than that thing is. Ain't that a whopper? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, at least I knew he was pecking at it. That may be what you're going to get in that super shallow water, one of them little bitty ones. We'll see. Oh, that was a good hit. Yeah. And there's fish there. It's just they're being very finicky about how they're hitting it. So, I mean, he pulled that jig plumb off that head. Sounded like one of them big trash trucks. There he is. You got him. I got a hit. Yeah, buddy. What you got there? That's a keeper. There he is. I think they're there. It's just, yeah, deeper. Yep. Yeah, now that is worth it. Look at the size of that thing. Yeah, buddy. Well, that's what we're talking about. You'll probably have to put your tube in. And then I'll have to turn the live well on. That live well will almost fill itself up, but it won't go all the way full. Well, at least got two. Got doubles. That's a start. We'll have to watch that weather real close. They're calling for thunderstorms this afternoon. I was wondering whether or not we were going to get to go this morning. Oh, golly dang. Well, see, Danny caught his off that black jig, and I caught mine off that water. Well, I don't know. You got a watermelon seed color too, don't you? It's kind of a. The pumpkin are kind of a brown. No, it's that watermelon seed. Yeah. There he is. Boy, they're not hitting it really hard. Mm-mm. No, when I pull it in there, it's just like they just kind of grab and go, just barely grabbing it. He hit that thing 3-4 times. Just never did take it. May have to take that thing, drag it, and then stop it whenever you feel them bump it, and see if that will do anything. Or the crane. Alright. Since you got that watermelon on, I'm gonna go ahead and put a black on. Mine's tore anyway, so I'm having trouble. It's staying up, that dummy. So we'll see what we got in there. Did a video the other night in the garage. I was telling everybody how used to whenever Dad and I would fish with crickets, sometimes we would do a Carolina rig for them. And I set that little spin cast up like that, but we would do the Carolina rig with a real cricket. And I thought about trying one of these little jigs that way, floating it off that hook and see what happens. I mean, sometimes you got to change your tactics. You know, my dad, he was so hooked on cork and bobber with those crickets, you know. Whenever I showed him and started having him do that Carolina rig like that, that got to be his favorite thing to do. Man, he loved that. It is. It is. I mean, just to get out into a lawn chair and just sit back and relax. I mean, there ain't nothing more fun than that. That's it. Yeah. That live well should be. That live well should be full now. It should be getting close to time for those willow flies to start hatching. Well, usually they do like the last week of May and the first 2 or 3 weeks in June. And with this warmer weather like we've had this year, I figured they'd be hatching a little sooner. And I've seen more willow hatches on Kentucky Lake than I have here. So, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be tons of them, and that's the place to fish. Okay, well, we caught two here. Let's kick this trolling motor on high, and we're gonna go on over to the other spot. In fact, yeah, we'll take the trolling motor. It won't take us too long to get over by trolling motor. I was gonna crank up the outboard, but you can't imagine. I just can't believe all the trash. Now when I'm talking about trash, y'all, I'm talking about logs and sticks and all that. Um, Evidently, they raised that water up pretty fast and took a lot of that stuff on the bank and got it to float. I sure would be cautious if I got out there on that main lake with all the trash that's in this bay. It's a good way of knocking a hole in your boat. That little 5'6" rod, I think that's a 5'6". That thing really makes it fun catching them fish on that thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think that's that old Bass Pro Shop rod. I've had that thing a long time, man. It's pretty sensitive. I mean, that's why I like that rod so well. All right. Well, it looks like them folks at that first dock there, they had a pontoon that was sitting in there. I guess they moved it out. Now, there's something too, y'all, whenever you do fish boat docks, like private docks on the lake, look at that dock close. You might be surprised. If you go up there and you see a little table that looks like a fish cleaning station, fish there. That man that owns that dock is a fisherman. More than likely, there's brush or some kind of something or another around that dock. That's what I would do if I owned a dock like that and I had my boat tied up there. Even though I do fish the lake, and I'd have brush and all kinds of stuff sitting around my dock where I could walk out there and fish anytime I want. Yeah, you might be surprised what you can catch. And around most cleaning stations, you will catch good quality fish because those fish usually lay there and they feed off the scraps where people are cleaning their fish anyway. Over here, when we clean the fish at this dock, when you start throwing, the carcass out there and the scraps, man, you can sit there and watch them striped bass. I mean, they just school under there. Just they're fighting the turtles to get to it. It's really something how that water, whenever you turn that water on to wash that table off, that water hits the lake, and it's just like a dinner bell. All right. So what I'm going to do, Danny, is I'm going to try to stay out here in this deeper water first. So it is going to be a little bit slower, and we'll just kind of work this deep water first and see what we have. Well, at least the wind's not blowing 100 miles an hour. Man, you can tell them squirrels up there are protected. There's like 4 of them up there running around together. They sure don't do that where we hunt at, do they? Where we hunt at, they sit there and go, "Hey, man, don't shoot me." Yeah, we'll just kind of let that set, see what happens. Said there's no wind. Guess what it's doing now? Starting to blow. Yeah, figures. Very seldom do you ever get up here on this lake and that wind's not blowing. What I'm gonna try to do is cast more towards that tree that's hanging over and see what's there first before I move to up in that shallower water. See what's happening. And we got out here early too, so it's just now barely 8 o'clock. I don't think fish wake up till 9. I drug it through there very slow and I didn't even get one little tap. That's very unusual. Let's see. Let's see what's over here. Let me see. The last time we were here, this is where we caught those big red ear. Was right there. And that's what I was hoping for. Yeah, it does. It seems to really screw them up. But that's the only thing bad about these Army Corps of Engineer lakes, like these two lakes here, is I'm still trying to figure out why they raise the water so high. That just, yeah, I mean, they should have kept it at Summer Pool. And to get it this high, I mean, it's probably 2-3 foot above Summer Pool, which is really unusual for this time of year. Not unless they're preparing for a drought. I mean, they might be doing that. I don't know. It's been awfully dry this year. That guy hit something with his transducer. See it hanging? Ooh, that's a nice hit. Yeah, he hit something hard. Looks like he broke the whole bracket and everything off that transducer. Hmm. There he is. Nope, I got hung up. Until I'm dragging it, and I just lost my whole kit and caboodle. Very seldom will I ever get hung up and break it like that. Guess I'm gonna have to get my glasses out again. Get him? Yeah, you got him. Well, Danny got one. Well, that looks like a keeper. Yeah, that's the way them mothers did over there too. I don't much like it when they're doing that. That's whenever when they're like that, that makes fishing more like work. Oh, man, I don't want that. But this is the kind of work I could do full time. You know, yeah, I could do this full time. That wouldn't hurt my feelings in the least. I guess it'd be kind of like a farmer. You'd really have to worry about weather conditions all the time. There he is. Did you get him? Yep. Well, that one's tugging pretty good. Big red ear too, and I don't have the net out. Yeah. Work him right over here. Look, what a red ear, buddy. My gosh. Don't you fall off there, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at that thing.
Oh,
Man, he liked that pumpkin, didn't he?
yeah.
Or not pumpkin, watermelon. Man, that is one fine fish. Look at the size of that thing, y'all. I mean, there's my fingers. I mean, look at that thing. I know I've got a scale in this boat somewhere. I don't know how accurate it is, but I know I've got a scale. Man, that one right there feed 2 people easy. Up, yeah. You notice he's worried about the net now. Like, where's your net? Where's your net? I reckon I better get that net out. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't mind the fish being slow if you're catching fish like that. Yeah, buddy. Now, again, I'm gonna show you all my net again. I really like this thing. It's actually made for kayaks. You know what you do? It locks in. Flip that switch. Extends that handle, and man, I can really reach out there. That thing's just perfect. I mean, you can get probably a 5-pound catfish in there easy. Good largemouth bass, crappie. But it doesn't do you any good to have net if you don't get it out of the compartment. There he is. They really like that watermelon color, don't they? Yeah, we can probably let him live, get a little bit fatter. There's a hit. They're just kind of pecking at it, you know. Just kind of picked it up, didn't he? Yeah. Whenever they start doing that, I got another black one up here. We may end up having to get some more of them watermelon seed out. I got just about every color you can think of in there. There he is. Yeah. This may be a red ear. He's fighting like one. Oh yeah, definitely a red ear. That or a catfish. Oh my God. Look what a red ear. Oh my gosh. Whoa, Misty. Man, is that fun or what?
Oh, look at that.
That's 2 back to back, man. That's okay. I don't mind them being slow. And y'all, well, whenever we're fishing, when I'm sitting there catching them one after another, but when you're catching fish that size, I mean, look at that thing. That's 2 out of that spot. Well, come back here, you son of a gun, you. He'll get in there and he'll start beating around. Now he's mad. Just out of those 2 red ear and those other couple bluegill we got enough for supper already. Did you find it? Did you lose something?
kick it whenever I.
There you go. I got one more up here. I'll have to get in that compartment and get some more. All right. Guess tonight it starts storming and raining. I guess I'm gonna have to start making some more of these jigs. My stock's getting low in the boat. You know, the thing about it is I haven't really got into the red ear this year like I normally do. Normally, man, if I find one, I catch like 8 or 10 or even limit out. But this year, you know, it's 1 or 2, and that's about it. Oh, and I got in there and got hung up again. There's some trash down there. Yeah. All right. Let me try right over here. See what we got. I mean, where we're sitting at right now, this is usually 3 foot. It's 7 foot deep. So, and that's what makes it hard too, pulling those big red ear out of that deep water. Man, them things they get down there, they'll just roll on you. Got a bad feeling we're not going to have a very big acorn crop this year. Yeah, you know, for almost 2 years in a row we had it. Yeah. You got another red ear? That's all right, buddy.
I got it.
Yeah, that looks like another red ear.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's a red ear. Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah. Yep, I see him. Oh yeah, that's a nice red ear. That's okay. I don't mind them being slow as long as we're catching fish like that. We'll have to show the folks at home that bad boy. And I'll tell you something too, whenever you can lip a red ear like that, that's a big fish. That one there don't even want to open up his mouth, does he? He's like, he's telling you, hey, that's my jig. You ain't getting it. That's a nice fish. Man, it's a nice fish. Oh no! That was a red ear. I could tell by the way that one felt. Ooh, dang. That thing hit me in the head. Man, that was a nice fish that hit that. Yeah, check that thing out. Well, don't throw him back in the water. Danny almost dropped him back in the water. He's flopping around the phone now. I mean, look at that thing, y'all. Ain't that something? Man, that's a dandy. I'm glad I turned that live well lid around. That's made it nice. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of stupid ding dong puts live well lid on backwards. Evidently, it must have been somebody that doesn't do a lot of fishing. Okay, I'm gonna turn this boat. Yeah, that's fun, man. Oh, that they'll destroy that jig. Yeah, I mean, you catch very many of those red ear, you're gonna go through them bodies. Yeah, they'll tear them bodies all to pieces. Did you find it?
Right there on the worker.
You know, hey, what's really funny is how most folks tell me that they like using worms for red ear. They said red ear really they do well with worms. Oh, I got one just playing with it. I mean, he's hit that thing 4 times and he never did take it. And if those red ear are there and you catch a few off worms, I've taken this jig and outfished somebody with it. There's just something, like I said, something about this jig. These fish like these things. I did notice there's a few young largemouth bass splashing around up here. We got 8 foot. And so that's really deep for this spot. I think that's the most red ear we pulled out of this spot at one time. Was, generally 1 or 2 is usually it. All this trash in the water. Every time I've cast in there, I'm picking up sticks and all right. A little harder today, y'all, than it has been. They are being. There's one playing with it. There he is. Yeah, he got down inside that brush on me. I don't know what he is yet. He's got a little fight to him. I think it's a bluegill. Them red ear, they fight pretty good till you get them right to the boat. When they see that boat, man, they go berserk. Yeah, that's a nice bluegill. I'll take that. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't mind them being slower as long as they're quality fish. But let me tell you, whenever you catch one every cast, that spoils a fella quick. Like you found the brush, didn't you? Yeah, there's some stuff down there. He is. Ah, come on. That's a young one. Little female, no eggs. That says something whenever you can take 4-pound test line and pull a 17-foot bass boat. That tells you the 4-pound line will handle a lot more than people think it will. Finally break. Yeah, that Mr. Crappie, I'm gonna tell you. And they don't sponsor me. Wish they would. That would be great because man, I'd be glad to advertise it, but I like it because you could get so much more line. I think it's like 3,000 yards on a spool. And, you know, if you buy any other brand, I'm not going to say the brand names, but some of the higher brand names, they're only 250 yards and it's the same price. As far as quality goes, I've not had no trouble at all with this. It does tend to twist a little bit, but I think a lot of that, you know, is me. And of course, some of this line had some age on it anyway, because I've been needing to change it for a while. And that's with any monofilament. I mean, you catch a lot of fish like we've been catching here, it's going to stretch. So I was telling them the other night when I was doing my video and I was restringing these rods that I keep my line, and some of this 4-pound test line is probably 5-6 years old. And I keep it all in the refrigerator and lettuce crisper. It seems like it just keeps the line fresher longer. Oh, kind of get you gun shy when you get it. Catch a few of those red ear and have something hit it. You want to make sure you really set that hook good, you know. Oh, Danny's retying. I'm going to get down in this compartment and get some jig bodies out. We're going to need some. We'll get a couple, you know. I'm going to get some of this pumpkin color. I got that brown flake out. This out. That watermelon color. And there's some other kind of like a lime green color. I'm just going to put a whole bunch of them out. What color you want?
I got that's the last
Okay. I think that's starting. I might even put a yellow on, huh? I've had good luck with yellow in the swampy areas. You know, kind of like backwater sloughs. There's a place over in southern Illinois called Horseshoe Lake. Whenever I was a kid, we used to fish that a lot. And a yellow, green and yellow, and black and yellow around them cypress trees always produce tons of crappie. Up here at these lakes, I got to fishing up here. I tend to go to more of a white and darker colors for some reason. I don't ask me why, but I mean they produce. But I think that's probably what we want to do is caught a few off these black and a few off that other color. Dadgum, got hung up again down. Can't say I'm not dragging it. All right. I'm fixing to go pull that boat up there and I'm going to grab that log and I'm going to toss that thing. Every time I fish, that thing's been right in my way. You get one? All right. What do you think about that one? Is that a keeper? Looks like it. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, he might be borderline. Times are tough. Throw him in that live well. And if we start getting a lot of fish quick, then we'll be more picky. I don't get that picky if fish aren't biting well. I mean, these fish aren't really turning on like they should. But again, I mean, it's just the weather. You can feel it's unstable. I mean, you can just feel it in the air. It's kind of soupy. Um, it's cool. You got a cool little breeze, and it's not real hot, but it's kind of muggy. If that makes sense. There he is. No, got hung up again. Dad gum. Same spot. A guy I bought them lead heads from. He's he changed hooks on me. Oh. Well, y'all, hopefully we'll have more of a show for you. We're gonna try this spot a little bit longer. If we don't do any good, we're gonna shut her down. We're gonna go someplace else. But at least we caught a few. I mean, they are more finicky today, and like I said, the weather has just really got it tore up. Uh, Water temperatures around 76, which isn't too bad. Um, but now you got to give an account too. That's not. Oh, there he was. That's not counting the water temperature on the bottom versus it is up high. So, but before we leave this spot, I'm going to take this black jig off and we're going to try a different color. I don't want to leave here until I try something else. That is already proven to work. Already, the last places we went, that whenever we'd catch a few, they quit hitting. We change colors and then we start catching something. So there it is. Dadgum, I got hung up in the same spot. And I think I lost my whole kit and caboodle. Well, I did. That's unusual. I mean, very seldom I ever get hung up this much. Until I'm keeping it right on the bottom. So we'll see. Old Teddy.
Jim Lee, he
Oh.
let me go fishing, but I'm already fishing. Sorry, buddy. Bass fishing. Fry fishing.
Really? Well, I mean, that's the thing about it. This weather, the way it is, you don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to try this brown pepper flake. It's not quite a pumpkin color. The other color's a pumpkin. This is just brown with pepper flake. I ran out of pepper flake, so I've got a ton of brown ones at the house that I made. Yeah, that white sparkles. Yeah, there should be some in that box. I only made a handful of those. You know, some of these are, I only make the productive ones that work. I don't want to have, you know, a 500,000 different colors that if they're not producing fish, I don't want to make them. I just flat out. Um, that other brown color I made looks more like a Hershey's chocolate bar, which to me looks closer to what a cricket would look like. What happened there? Yeah, it's a new line. I've got some of those in that box. That black with white sparkle. You know, I've got one color at the house. Oh my God, it's kind of like a nasty old gray with, it's got like all different color sparkles in it. And I look at it and it's like, man, it looks like somebody vomited and just threw it in the bag. I'm thinking about melting it all down. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Oh, there's a good hit. I don't know how it's going to turn out if I remelt it with all that sparkles in it, because you can't, the sparkles won't melt. You know, they're supposed to be heat resistant or whatever. So I don't know how they're going to turn out. That felt like a little fish that hit that thing. But we're going to cast a few more times. We don't catch anything, I say we move. Pardon me. No, I went looking the other day. Was wanting to get some block ice. You can't even buy block ice anymore. I have no idea where I can buy it. I mean, man, used to 10 years ago, you could buy a big block of ice for like $5. You put that in a cooler and it'd last. Even with these old cheap coolers, it'd last a day or so easy. Much better than that crushed ice. But you know, I had that old 16-foot Shasta travel trailer. You know, it was like a 1963 model. It had that old truck camper that was like in the 60s. You know, they didn't have refrigerators, but they had those ice boxes. And you put a big old block of ice in that little refrigerator, it lasts 3 or 4 days. And you put eggs and milk in there and not even have to worry about it. But you put a bag of crushed ice in that, you're lucky if you can get a day. Okay, well, I'm actually going to probably turn the boat and let's cast that way and bring it back and see what we can do. What do you think? We'll see if there's any red ear down there. If we don't do any good, we're gonna pack her up and move. We'll go find someplace else to fish. But at least we caught something. There he is. Oh, there he was. Are you serious? All right, let's turn and let's see if we can shoot that way. Now it's gonna be deep. And we'll drag it back. We'll see if those red ear. Oops. Let's see if those red ear are out there. A little harder to fish in that deeper water with these little jigs, but sometimes you gotta try different things and see what happens. I know what this color brown looks like. It looks like an earthworm color. That's what it looks like. I kept trying to figure out what color does it look like. I mean, that does look like earthworm. I have some at the house and I don't have any in my box. It looks like a motor oil. That looked pretty impressive. How I end up making it that color, I don't know, because I don't have motor oil dye. But I'll have to figure that one out. Can you hand me that Zebco behind you there? Try something before we leave. Enter it and try it. We'll see what happens. This thing is a cool little setup. I bought this for my mama. She fished with it before she passed away. Just similar to a spinning reel, except it's a Zebco. I am going to, at that split shot, about 6 inches above that, I'm going to actually bring it up about 8 inches. And then I am going to put a little body on there. Just like you would a worm or a cricket. And I'm going to Carolina rig that thing. It didn't go very far. You got him? Big one? What is a keeper? Catch him up in that shallower water? Okay. What's going on here? Thing's not wanting to cast worth a hoot. There we go. Had a knot in the line. So this setup I have here is a split shot about 6 to 8 inches from a hook. And I just put that little jig body on a hook. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of taking that thing and just barely dragging it. I'm letting that split shot stay in contact with that bottom, and that body, that jig floats just like a Carolina rig, like you would for bass fishing. Carolina rigs are very, very productive for bass fishing and covering a lot of water quickly. Deep water, you know. I got nothing. I picked up some trash. There is a hit. I had one smack it. There it is. No, I picked up a stick. Here, I thought it was a hit. Kind of exciting there. Got another one? Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, the line starts getting a little heavy, and that's why a while ago I felt like I had one, and I just got hung up because that's the way they're hitting. I mean, they're not. Yeah, what color you want? I got black. I put a handful of black. I've got some lime green type pepper seed type stuff. I put out all kinds out here just to wanted to try different color just to see what happens. Unfortunately, with this little Carolina rig that I'm using, sometimes, and you'll get hung up a lot more with it, especially when you're in this shallow water where there's trees around, trash gets at the bottom, you're liable to get hung up more. I'm staying right in contact with that bottom. Okay, I'm gonna make one more cast. If we don't do any good, we're getting out of here. I say we go try the other spots. Hey, look like they're dropping off a new toilet. That's cool. That's when you know you're a real redneck, is when you get excited about a new portage on they're putting in. You know, yeah, it's like, hey, look at that. That's nice. Well, let me tell you something. When you have to lean up next to a tree, you be thankful for a portage on. All right, one more cast. I'm gonna drag that Carolina rig. I'm definitely dragging it on the bottom. I thought maybe it might produce, but of course, we could have done caught all that's gonna bite here. Yeah, this may.
Put some good red ear out here.
Yeah, we did. There's nice red ear. I was hoping there'd be more. But it could be one of them days too that, and sometimes you'll have those days, 1 or 2 fish, and then you have to move. 5, 10 fish, you have to move. I mean, yeah. All right. Well, we're not going to waste any time here. I think we've done our share. We picked up a handful or 2 here. I say we move on and see if we can find them someplace else. All right, y'all. We'll see what we can do.